Welcome to The Clean Slate with your hosts, Daniel Garza and Carson Phillips, providing you with movie news, reviews, and more. Sit back, relax, and don't forget to go to the concessions to get your popcorn and drinks. For your entertainment, this is The Clean Slate Podcast.
Welcome back, ghouls and gals, to The Clean Slate Podcast. That's Daniel Garza. I'm Carson Phillips. And yeah, today we have a twofer for you. We didn't want to do this, but we hate ourselves enough.
We ended up doing it. Yep.
We're doing over 31 movies. No one else on YouTube's doing that. So suck it.
That's true.
All the bigger channels doing 31 movies only, because we do like 40 on accident.
We ended up doing about 35, 36.
Yeah, so we got two really opposite movies. One that I think is a little bit more goofy, a little bit bigger budget perhaps, and one that no one really knows about. Like, I don't think anyone knows about this other movie. So we have New Life, which is this indie drama horror thriller kind of chase film, and then we also have Abigail, which is, you know, not to spoil the trailer, a vampire ballerina. So yeah, these are pretty great movies.
Do you want to invite them to like, comment?
Yeah, you guys should like, comment, subscribe before we review this.
We literally talked about this.
Also, hit the bell, because if you hit that bell, you know what happens. It lets you know when we're about to do a new episode, so you can be one of the first people to watch it.
Yeah, and comment.
Comment first if you're first.
Yeah.
Comment second if you're second.
And then just say some offhanded stuff in the comments, please.
Challenge
okay, guys.
us.
So here is New Life. A mysterious woman on the run and the resourceful fixer assigned to bring her in. Fixer? They are two unique stories inextricably. That's crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen that word in real life.
What do you mean in real life?
Inextricably? I don't think so.
I think that's what it is.
No, I think it sounds right, but I just don't think I've ever seen that.
That's so funny.
Okay.
Okay. No, leave it in. Leave it in. Leave it in.
They're two unique stories inextricably linked as the stakes of the pursuit rise to apocalyptic proportions. Okay, little bit of a rundown.
I don't want to spoil it, though.
No, what? It's in the trailer.
No, I didn't watch the trailer, so I didn't know what this movie was about.
Okay,
that's why I texted you. I was like, is this a horror film?
Okay, spoilers. Not the whole movie, but spoilers, okay?
Go watch it.
Warned. If you want
Just
to go watch
it.
it. But if not, spoilers ahead.
It's on Shudder. No, Prime.
No, it's on Prime. Okay,
Sorry.
cool. So, guys, I think it's also on Tubi. I watched it on Tubi.
That's disgusting. That's crazy. Okay, Prime has ads now too.
That face
though,
of
so
judgment was crazy.
Prime has ads.
What? Mine doesn't.
Okay, rich nepo baby. Jeez. Okay. All right, let's talk about the movie.
Guys, I'm gonna just get it right out there in the open. This is a zombie movie,
but not really.
But I am
like
Legend style.
50 minutes in. It's so good.
So this movie follows two characters. Our characters are Elsa Gray and Jessica Murdoch. Elsa Gray and Jessica Murdoch. Elsa Gray is kind of the like CIA agent that is chasing Jessica Murdoch through, you know, wherever they're at. And pretty much the entire time, a commercial for Smile came up and I was like, anyway, wow. So pretty much the entire time they're chasing each other, we are finding out that Elsa Gray has, is it MS?
ALS.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
ALS. I forget what other movie we just watched that it had MS in it.
Was Run, I think.
Yeah. No. I don't know.
Could be wrong.
Anyway, she has ALS, so it is slowly affecting her everyday life. And I'm pretty sure this was like a heretical disease, right? Because her mom has it. It was shown that her mom has ALS.
I don't know.
Or was that,
for sure.
Was that her mom?
That might have been like a friend helping her out kind of thing. But it shows like kind of what this disease. There's another lady where we see what late stages of the disease. of what this disease is like, and it freaks her out. Essentially, I mean, it's a scary thing for sure. Being shut in your body like that, yeah,
for sure. So pretty much, she is chasing Jessica Murdoch all the way through cities and towns and states, and Jessica Murdoch is thinking that she is wanted for murder, but in reality, she has a disease that causes people to
fast-tracked Ebola, and then
pretty
they
much
turn into a zombie.
And
It's
then they turn into a
disgusting.
zombie. It is honestly disgusting.
Trigger warning if you
however-
have trypophobia, because I don't have that. It's where there's like a bunch of little holes.
Oh,
And it freaks,
yeah,
like
I
people
do. I
are
have
scared
that
of
for
sponges
sure.
and stuff. There's a scene with an eyeball and like,
Stop.
and
Okay.
I gagged.
Yes, it was very disgusting. Anyway, I think, like, moving on to likes and dislikes, I think this is one of the coolest renditions of a zombie movie that I've seen.
Super original.
I think so. Are you being sarcastic?
No,
can't tell.
I'm serious. This is. I'm sorry. No, this is like, I'm serious. This is super original. I've never seen
Okay.
a horror film or a zombie film that takes this approach.
Yeah,
It's very
no.
grounded, very realistic overall.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, pretty much Jessica Murdoch and her boyfriend or husband at the time, they both carried this disease. However, it started affecting him first, and we lose him. Yeah, maybe. Well, it's kind of in flashbacks. It's not really. He's like in
The film
story.
jumps around in time a bit.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's the base of the movie. Carson, give your likes. now.
Yeah. Likewise, I think this is a really clever way to do a zombie film with having a small budget, I assume. I mean, I think most of the budget went to having a Bob Dylan song in the movie, which honestly, same. I get it. And
Yeah.
I think there are some flaws, but the originality of this film, for me, outweighs a lot of those flaws.
Sure.
And it kind of has this, like, slower pace towards the beginning where it's kind of, like, almost pretty to look at, but kind of, like, somber for some reason.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming the film is doing some kind of allegory work along the lines of, like, ALS and comparing it to this zombie outbreak, which is interesting. I don't really know exactly what it's trying to say, but I find that conversation interesting. And then just the way the zombies look are so disturbing.
So scary.
The way they're handled and not done over the top is really well too. Yeah, I love all that. And then all the characters that die, you get really endeared to very quickly. And I think that's just good storytelling. Like the fact that these characters that only exist to die in this plot, like I care about. And so I like it a lot. It's very effective. And I also appreciate that this is something I feel like I could have made, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Which is cool. It's always good to see someone that's like, oh, you could make a feature film on a pretty low budget and make something really cool.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's
you don't
just
need
have
$1
a good
million
story.
$10 million or whatever.
Yeah.
This probably
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
$1 million still, but
I'm sure it was. I mean,
But still.
what's her name? She's a pretty well-known actress. Sonia Walger, who plays Elsa
Yeah.
Grey.
yeah, she's known.
Yeah, and Ayanna Berkshire. She's the bar owner. Remember?
What do I
I'm
know
sure
her from, though?
She looks really familiar. I want to say Captain Marvel, but maybe not.
Oh, I'm not sure.
No.
What are your likes, Daniel?
Sorry, I'm getting distracted.
Yeah,
so
dude,
my
come on.
likes echo a lot of that. I think it's such a simple story. I really loved again, like what you said, the originality of the zombie storytelling, because we get so much of it. And I think kind of to contrast, what is it called? A Quiet Place. How right in the first two movies we get a really focused story on the family. In zombie movies, I feel like we kind of get focused stories on the families, but they're really more so like the world's ending because of zombies. It's more of a doomsday story rather than like a,
Yeah.
I don't know, like Patient Zero type thing.
Well, this is like early days of an outbreak, too.
Yeah,
technically.
exactly. And so, what's her name? Elsa Grey is trying to stop this from happening, and I don't know. I just thought it was something cool that right, even the hazmat suit, like for some reason it brought more like intensity to the situation of like, hey, this isn't like a breathing path or like disease. It's more of a spit, blood, urine, all
It's
that
gross.
type of stuff. And her hazmat suit, like they show, like there's like a rip in her gloves at one point, and you're like, oh crap, like you start to freak out a little bit, and you become more aware of like being cautious about before becoming a zombie instead of like just being bitten or something. So I really like that. I really liked a lot of what you said, and I agree with a lot of it too. Like the family that turned is they're like a really sweet family, and
It's so sad.
Yeah, so
my dislikes for this one are like, it's hard to fault this movie for me because I had such a good time watching it, and I watched it with Alyssa too, my wife, and she doesn't love horror films, and she enjoyed it as well. So that's cool. But my biggest dislike ultimately is I just feel like it needed a little more oomph, in my opinion. And again, this is I think a first feature again.
Yeah.
From this director, and they did a great job, but it just needed to be. I just don't know if the world that the story happens is fully realized, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's fully explained the way it should. And then even like when she's like taken into hazmat and they're in this like kind of abandoned hospital, it just doesn't quite make sense to me. And that could be a me problem, to be honest, but that didn't work for me. And then our main character, I know she has like this whole like issue of ALS and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of find that sad and interesting at the same time, but I didn't care for that character as much as I feel like I should have, when I feel like the story is more her story than the other woman.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I just feel like maybe if you're going to have these two dual stories happening, is make me like both of them equally. And I don't know if I quite got there on this. So that's really my main issues, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way of fixing it, though. Like, because I kind of had the same problem. I didn't want to say it just because of, like, ALS or whatever, but, like, the whole thing, it was just, like, her whole story I did not care about. Like, I wanted to get into the movie, so maybe the pacing could have been made better, but also have something in there that makes us feel for both of the characters. Because, right, the climax of the movie is they finally meet and they finally duel off, pretty much. And, like, based on those results, you would like it to be something that's equally hard for both of them, which I think they were trying to get at, but it
just didn't quite land it.
Right, yeah. So, I would say, ultimately, I like what you said about how we could have potentially fixed it, and I think that would have done the movie justice in terms of, like, this is a great independent film that has an original story. It's not taking away from the story that's original, but it is...
Yeah.
Definitely could have been made better.
It honestly could have been shorter and maybe in like an anthology film or something.
Yeah.
And worked just as well, in my opinion. But definitely worth a watch for those of you who've seen every zombie movie, every horror film, because this is very original and it's captivating. And if you went in with not knowing, like I did, I think you'll be... Well, it's too late, but you'd be very impressed. So
yeah. Okay, so let's go quickly into Abigail. We got one more to review, and then we can call it. But let's do this. Abigail, after a group of criminals kidnap the ballerini daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion, unaware that they're locked inside with no normal little girl.
Ooh.
All right.
She's a furry.
Honestly, I think that was that explains the plot pretty well.
That'd be so scary.
Yeah.
If you got locked in a room with a furry Daniel,
instead of
what
a
would
vampire?
you do?
Yeah, no.
If you're a furry, comment down below.
Yeah, furries, you have the floor. Let us know. Okay, quickly, do you think you need to add anything to that?
Not really. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, you kind of know what this movie is.
The whole movie ends up just being a survival movie, really.
It's your next with ballerina vampire.
Mm-hmm. With
and then a dash of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I try to take my take.
That's how it goes.
Okay, so after Carson originally thought of that take, what are your likes and dislikes on this movie? Or just go likes first.
Yeah, my likes, honestly, is the gore. Like, I'm not a gore hound like some of horror fans are. Like, they just love the blood and guts.
Yeah.
But the blood and guts in this is very fun. Like when a vampire gets staked in this movie, they pop like a bubble. I'm a simple man. I grew up watching Blade, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a gory movie. This is not on par with Blade by any means, but quality or violence wise. But yeah, I just think that stuff's very exciting and fun for me. And then honestly, I don't remember her name, but the actress of the little ballerina, she plays Matilda in the Matilda the musical, by the way.
No way, she does?
Yeah.
Alicia
Isn't
Wire.
that nuts?
Aw,
Yeah.
now I like
she
her.
does. She's cool. I actually think that's a cool 2 roles to get for
Abigail.
your first feature films.
Yeah, that's pretty
nuts.
good. Good for you.
But she does such a good job in this and plays, obviously she is a little girl, but she plays a little girl well, but also is terrifying very well.
Yeah.
Especially once they throw in that makeup with the teeth and all that stuff.
Dude, the teeth were
the
legit.
visual look of the vampires in this is very cool.
Yeah.
I like the look of them. I'm trying to think that if anything else that I really stood out to me. Maybe like some of the vampire lore is interesting, like the puppety vampire thing. I haven't quite seen that done in too many vampire movies.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that's the thing, like vampires can do mind control and all that crap. So seeing that in this film was cool.
Yeah.
But that's about it as far as likes go. I think it's just a fun popcorn movie. This could be a good party movie.
Yeah,
you know?
I think to expand more on that, the only thing I would add to it is, it is kind of like a buddy movie, like kind of what we're talking about in terms of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like almost every, like, I don't know, personality is represented in these characters that are like supposed to be taking care of the little girl. You got like your stupid one, you got your funny one, you got your thinker, you got your kind of head honcho protagonist,
big Russian guy, Strax.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got Rocket, who is that? What's her? The like science or the I guess tech. What is it? Like the nerd.
The girl from Freaky.
Yeah.
She's like the hacker, but doesn't do any hacking in this movie whatsoever.
Yeah, and then you got Angus Cloud in there, who just dies in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and then she dances with his headless body. So I think
that's crazy that this is his final.
I know.
Role. And then that's what it was?
Yeah, it's kind of depressing a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's disrespectful. It's just a little unfortunate.
Yeah, so I would say, honestly, though, my like standout thing, besides like that it is funny, it's like a funny, stupid movie, is the soundtrack score was so cool. Like the beginning of like the whole ballerina, yet like kind of cinematic score to it. It was so nice. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it doesn't go too much further than that, and let's jump right into our dislikes because we have quite a few.
Okay. Biggest dislike was the whole crew of people. Like they all are playing up like the dumbest stereotypes possible, and I know horror films do that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I immediately knew like, oh, the big dude, he's gonna be dumb, but we're gonna love him. Like and then I didn't really like our lead.
Oh, really?
I didn't care for her. I mean, I like the ballerina,
girl
but
in Scream.
Scream, yeah, I didn't like her in this.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know if it was the writing, because her acting's fine. Like I think she's a great actor.
Yeah.
But the writing for her character was just so dumb to me. And then like, I don't know if I bought the backstory with her character either. The whole drug addict thing was kind of like whatever. The backstories of the characters in general are pointless.
No, that is actually one of my biggest dislikes, is that whole exposition scene where it gives every single character their backstory within.
Yeah, I don't need that.
It was just like, oh my god, who cares?
I don't really care, to be honest. And then I guess just the setup takes a long time, and they kind of keep it a secret that she's a vampire up until a certain point. Mm-hmm. And for me, the trailer spoils that. The log line spoils that.
Yeah.
If we didn't know, and like this was like kind of played up as a mystery, and we don't know until we actually watch the film, then all that beginning stuff would pay off for me. But because I already knew, and I was just like, can we get to the ballerina killing people?
Yeah.
It was kind of annoying, I guess. If that makes sense.
And I think, too, because they built up such a big story of, like, let's protect this girl, let's get our money, let's do all this type of stuff. The very end, like, exposition that she gives is like, I set this all up. This is me. I just wanted to play with my food. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, that would have paid off if we didn't know she was a vampire from the trailer.
Sure, yeah, exactly. Or it just we saw it happen. Like,
Yeah, we already know. You don't need to explain it.
yeah, no, like so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a little bit too on the nose for me. It fell into a lot of traps that horror movies do, but it is kind of like a Ready or Not film. Like it is 100% buddy movie. You know what's gonna happen.
Goofy violence.
Yeah, and it's the story is not great at all. Like Ready or Not is literally, oh, we play murder games with our family. It's like, okay, cool. Like this is a little girl
Also has a
vampire.
lot of exploding blood people.
Yeah.
Same director.
Yeah. This movie bounced around a lot. I think too at the end there's so much overthrow that they wanted to hit. Like, well, I'll let you live.
It should have ended like 15 minutes sooner.
Oh yeah. They're like, I'll let you live if you follow me and do all this type of stuff, and I'll turn you. And then they do, and then they try to. I don't know. It just became so.
There's
much.
just too much at the end.
It's
too.
fun. I see why it did get a high rating because it is a fun vampire movie.
Unexpectedly fun.
Yeah.
I feel like too. We don't get fun movies like this that often.
Mm-hmm. Besides Ready or Not,
which has been a while, dude.
Really? Was it 2019?
It's
5
been.
years?
That's a long time.
Maybe it was. Yeah. Yeah, but I think overall the acting was pretty decent. Some of the writing, I think it was mainly the writing that was, I can see.
That was the real problem, was the writing.
Yeah.
Because all this cast, I feel like could have done better, given a better role.
Sure. Okay. Well, hey guys, that is Abigail. We do have to end, but scare factor for Abigail and New Life. Go real quick.
A New Life, an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Abigail, a 4.
Oh wow. Okay. I was gonna say New Life probably about an 8, and I would say Abigail more like an 8.5. Like being trapped in a house.
I think I could take her.
That's insane because
I've seen
she lives
Buffy,
like
dude.
centuries old.
No, I just stake her. Stake her so quick.
Anyway, okay, guys. Well, that is going to do it. You can find New Life. I think is a rental. Is it a rental?
I watched it on something.
Okay, so guys, New Life is on something. Abigail is on Peacock, so you can go check those movies out. But remember, we are doing 31 movies in 31 days. Actually, more than 31 movies, guys. So if you haven't yet, like, follow, subscribe, add the ring, ding, a dong on YouTube, so you can get notified when
add the ding dong.
So when we are releasing videos, but at least for this third season where we're starting, we always start off with 31 Nights of Horror. We are doing 31 Nights of Halloween. We are doing all of these movies every single day. So we will see you tomorrow for another horror movie.
That's a clean slate.